Okay, so guys, I am back with Lilith Conjunct Pluto. Somebody requested this Lilith Conjunct Pluto video. In Synastry, what do we get here? This is interesting. Now, this is kind of like Mars conjuncting Pluto. Except for, I feel it's less about competition and just more about control. More about control and allowance and provocation, if that makes any sense. Mars and Pluto they could end up power struggling with each other and competing directly with each other. But it's passionate. It's addictive. The competitiveness can be friendly. It can be a hidden enemy. I don't see necessarily the hidden enemy aspect with Pluto and Lilith. I feel like Pluto and Lilith go more together in this particular dynamic than competing against each other. Now, that's not to say, because this is the thing with Pluto, which is I feel like people can mistake this about Pluto. People can mistake this part about Pluto being competitive when really Pluto can be very passionate and Pluto can be very controlling, to say the least. Lilith can be very passionate. Lilith is more of freeing, being free, living life, existing. And already you can see, it's just clear the dynamic off top just by me saying that. The dynamic is kind of self-explanatory. And whenever you have this synastry, and depending on the sign, that's how it's going to express itself. And of course, like the houses, but wherever you have the synastry with somebody, there is this, I do not feel like both people recognize each other initially. As a matter of fact, if anybody or anything, any entity is going to be doing the recognizing, I feel like it's going to be Pluto. Okay? Because Pluto holds a lot of power. More power. Like Lilith could be powerful, but Pluto is going to be powerful. Pluto is going to be fully aware of itself. Lilith may or may not. Lilith, that energy in people, some people act on it consciously, subconsciously, unconsciously, then others ignore it altogether. Others will ignore their Lilith energy and suppress it altogether. So when you're dealing with a planet like Pluto, that's really full aware of its power. You can say however you want to say it. You can say that some people operate in their Pluto energy unconsciously, but it's still evident. It's evident. It's there. It's there to other people. You see. So when these two come together, you definitely get this passionate, intimate, physical connection with each other. That's all top. And I do believe Pluto will watch Lilith. Pluto will be interested in Lilith. Pluto would observe Lilith, learn about Lilith, and then make itself known. If Pluto's like, okay, yeah, I feel like I should make myself known, or however they're coming across each other, like once Lilith recognizes Pluto, and it usually happens through some sort of triggering, Lilith, it looks at Pluto as, like a little iffy. A little iffy because it senses, Lilith is always trying to sense out whether somebody is going to be controlling, somebody is going to try to dominate them, somebody is going to try to exploit them, or that energy. Lilith is always constantly looking out for that. And Pluto is a reason for Lilith to start raising their eyebrows. You know what I mean? Even if initially Lilith is not skeptical of Pluto, somewhere along the lines, Pluto will divulge something. Pluto will clarify something. Pluto will reveal some things that makes a Lilith person really like side-eye Pluto. As a matter of fact, the Lilith person might try to prevent themselves, hold themselves back from Pluto, from interacting with them. You can even see this sometimes with them coming together. Let's say they're intimate and they come together. You can see them over time struggling with coming together again. Whether it's one trying to keep themselves away from, one trying to control or dominate the other, and the other one trying to keep themselves free from that. It's wild. So, I just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. There could be this, and because of this mystery, it's this mystery there. They definitely do start having these power dynamics that could come into play. Because Pluto was like, I want an untamed Lilith. Like Pluto, the Pluto energy is going to want to interact with Lilith at Lilith's rawest form. And I feel like Lilith gives Pluto flashes of that. Or at one point in time they did, and whether they continue that on, that's up to the Lilith person. But Pluto is like, nope, I want the unadulterated version of Lilith. Meaning Pluto wants Lilith to not be a goody two shoes. Pluto wants Lilith, hey, you know what I'm saying? Try a little drugs. Get a little kinky. Do some experiences, or have some experiences that you won't typically have without being held back. Like, I'm here to provide that for you. Pluto wants Lilith to be emotional. Pluto wants Lilith to get angry and to show how much they want and need Pluto. Pluto will strategically set up scenarios sometimes to trap Lilith in. But Lilith, there goes the rebellious side of Lilith, because Lilith could be like, okay, no, Pluto wants this. I'm not going to give that to them because that's what they want. Like, just like me for me and how I show up. And, I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to do better. Why do you want that side of me? Why do you're trying to control me once again? And that's where the power dynamic can play out. That's where it can start to unfold and be very murky and get very, very manipulative. These two are manipulative. They get jealous of each other. It is very hard for other people to come in between Lilith and Pluto. They try. Sometimes it happens. These two can use other people to run these tactics on each other. And Pluto is very good with this. And what you have to watch out for Pluto about, because Pluto will get information about you. Pluto will understand your whereabouts. You will tell Pluto your secrets, and then Pluto can use it against you if they if they want to use it to manipulate you. These two can have and share lots of secrets between and amongst each other as well. It could be abusive, but it doesn't have to be an abusive relationship. It could be abusive. It could be manipulative abuse. manipulative, abusive. It can be physically abusive, emotionally abusive. Here the emotions run deep, but they could try to suppress it. I feel like Pluto wants to get Lilith's emotions, and Pluto wants to get this in the form of emotions, but physicality too, because Pluto wants to feel Lilith's energy. It knows that Lilith has and holds and possesses this energy, but Pluto wants to feel it. Pluto could get aroused or be interested in Lilith getting mad and upset because it wants to feel Lilith's wrath. Lilith, on the other hand, when it comes to Pluto, Lilith can want to control itself or herself. Lilith wants to control herself, based on the fact that Pluto wants the opposite of that. Pluto wants her to let herself go. Lilith wants to then contain and compose herself out of sheer rebellion. Lilith wants to know that Pluto is down for her, down for the situation, down for the relationship, no matter what. So Lilith wants to control Pluto as well, but it's for different reasons. It's the same reasons probably, but different motivations, or vice versa. Lilith wants Pluto's ultimate loyalty and protection. And Lilith gets jealous of Pluto, like providing that for others. Pluto providing that, that being of emotional support for others. If she doesn't feel safe, like if they can go in a back and forth power struggle to get that commitment and dedication out of each other, or to test that loyalty and dedication within each other. I mean, they could just continue to do this, and not wanting to give in into each other, letting the other one give in first. All that time that they could spend and not giving in to each other just out of power, like, well, I'm not going to give in to you. I'm not going to give in to you. They're both kind of thinking the same thing. Now, there is this always continuous burning sexual tension between these two. Always continuous burning sexual tension. When they do it, it's like, okay, well, we didn't do it enough. Like, it's only thing that's going to cause is them to want more. And then to get possessive over each other because somebody else might be coming in to get it. I kind of feel like these have to be careful. These two have to be careful with what they're doing with the relationship, because, I mean, these two can have like a threesome, or like have other people involved and then focus only on each other. Where everybody else is like, wait, what? How y'all gonna invite us in? Or they could want to have that, and then when other people get involved, get jealous, like, get off of my lover, get off of him, get off of, like, no, you can't be doing that, you can't. Or holding it against each other. So you have to really be careful. I kind of feel like this is a dynamic when these two cross Synastry. It's a dynamic that kind of unfolds amongst these two individuals that's experiencing this connection. Now, it's not for everybody that you come across that you have a Lilith conjunct Pluto transit with, or Synastry with. It's not for everybody. It's other placements at play. It is, if you both give into this trigger, that's how it works. But there's a lot that Pluto is like, man, I can show Lilith this, I can show Lilith that. It's a lot that Pluto strategizes for Lilith. And, But Lilith feels like it comes at a control. Like Lilith feels like it comes at a price that she doesn't know that if she's willing to pay or not. And because of the power dynamic, Pluto may not give in, and Lilith could feel like she has to initiate it. Like she has to do something to catch Pluto's attention, to chase after her, or to, suggest something, start something, confess his undying desires for Lilith. But these are the peas in the pot. Like these two have a strong dynamic. And even they could be arch enemies amongst each other, like going against each other, but to other people, they kind of like protect each other when it comes to other people, and they could have a secret relationship as well. All right, so this has been Lilith conjunct Pluto Synastry. I'm gonna fly to light and stay tuned because I will be back.